Q&A because I realized that I kind of slipped off on these. I normally do a ton of, well, actually, in the previous collab video, we did do somewhat of a Twitter Q&A, but I haven't done a Twitter Q&A where I based it kind of more around girl talk and just chit-chatting with you guys. If you guys have any other topic you want me to talk about, please feel free to tweet it to me on Twitter. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you guys have not already. My Instagram handle is just my name, @Weylie. Alright, so let's jump right into the first question. The first question I have is from Melody, and she wanted me to talk about body positivity, how to love the body you're in. Body positivity to me will always mean loving your body, but there are only so many videos you can watch where people will tell you that your body is unique to you and there's only one of you. You can hear people say that over and over, and even for myself, growing up, I knew that. Like, I would always tell myself, you know what, there's only one of you, Weylie, you are so special, you are one of a kind. And honestly, that is so true. But I think once you hear that so much, it starts to lose its meaning and you start to forget how exactly you're supposed to feel when it comes to feeling positive about your body. Does that make sense? As I was curling my hair this morning, getting ready for this video, I was thinking to myself in the bathroom, I'm like, what does body positivity really mean to you, Weylie? Like, what does it mean to you now? Every single year that goes by in my life, I am learning something new about myself. I feel like a lot of things in life just comes with age, because the older I'm getting, the more I don't care about what people think about my body. And of course, I'm human. There's going to be days where I look at myself in the mirror and I'm just like, girl, you don't look cute in anything. Or there are moments where I'm getting ready in the morning and I'm just like, girl, your eyelid, if it does not stop being uneven, I swear I'm gonna go get plastic surgery on this. But I will say, as I'm getting older more and more, I just don't really care about how my body looks. For example, when I was in high school, oh girl, I just wanted big boobs, because literally on MySpace and Facebook, all these girls with their titties out, and I'm just like, you know, I don't have that and I don't feel attractive. But now at 24 years old, I am at a AA cup. My boobs are the smallest in my life that they have ever been, okay? Like, literally my boobs do not exist and it feels like my body is waiting for puberty to hit me, okay? If you guys don't know about what happened to my boobs, okay? Because someone actually asked me if I got a breast reduction and I'm like, excuse me. No. When I was in high school, I was roughly about 135 pounds, and after I went to college, I just started to eat healthier, and also stress and everything kicked in. So I just naturally lost 20 pounds. So with that 20 pounds, I lost a lot of my boobs and they just never made a comeback. So circling back to what I was saying about as I'm getting older, the least I care. My boobs are nowhere near perky or like model status or anything. But let me tell you, with that, this is the most confident I felt in myself in years. And to me, all this comes with me liking the person that I am on the inside versus liking the person I am on the outside. I feel so bad for girls this generation, or just teenagers in this generation, because there is Instagram. Like, okay, I had Facebook and MySpace and stuff back in the days, but it was not to the extent of what Instagram is nowadays. And I mean, I'm guilty of it too. I have a feed that I keep up with and I want to make my feed look nice. And I understand that with people looking at those perfect feeds, they're naturally going to think, oh my God, my life is so terrible, or my body is not cute, I'm not pretty enough. But I need to tell you this. Stop blaming social media. I used to be someone that blames social media too. And okay, actually social media should be blamed up to a certain extent. But if you look at another person's page, whether it be your friend, an influencer, a celebrity, and you choose to let that take away from the greatness in your life and the greatness in yourself, that is something you need to work on. We gotta accept it. Social media is the way it is and it's always going to be there. But what we can change is that we can look at these things, absorb it, admire it, or just simply look at it without having to feel the need of comparing ourselves. If you can't control something, then learn to control the way you think about it. I follow so many people on Instagram that have banging hot bodies, that just portray that they have this beautiful life. And I tell myself this is not entirely real. What is real is who I am. Okay, I'm rambling on and I really feel like I'm having a legit old Weylie moment where I cannot get my thoughts straight. But another thing I want to talk about too is when you feel good about yourself and your own actions, I promise you 100% will start feeling so good about who you are, and you will stop worrying about what's on the outside. Personally, for me, what helped me so much was me finding something that I'm passionate about. There's a ton of things that I'm passionate about, but I chose to focus on just a few things. And here's the thing, even if you're passionate about something, it does not mean that you have to dive hard into it and do that completely. If you can just incorporate those little things that you're passionate about into your everyday life little by little, it will make you feel so much better. So for example, you guys know I love bunnies, and I have bunnies myself, and they are like my babies, okay? And because of them, it inspired me to be a cruelty-free shopper when it comes to my makeup. And for years before I became a cruelty-free makeup shopper, I knew that the whole animal testing industry exists, because I remember like kids at school will do like an essay talking about like, you know, debating about this issue. And I knew about it, and I knew it was cruel, but I never really looked into it. And I just felt like, well, this is what it is, like, you know, what can I do? You know, what can one person single-handedly do to change this industry? But I finally, I think it was in 2014, I made the decision, and I even made a video talking about it. I was like, I'm gonna be a cruelty-free makeup shopper. And since then, honestly, I was very afraid, and I thought, I'm gonna lose so many sponsorships and opportunities because of this. And unfortunately, in this beauty industry, so many brands test on animals. But then I realized, you know what, Weylie? You would feel so much better as a person if you just made this decision, because this is something you're passionate about. And since then, honestly, my life has changed a lot, and I became socially so much more aware of things that are going on in the world. And by no means do I think I'm perfect when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'm still educating myself every single day, and you know, I'm still working towards my vegetarian goal that I've been working towards for like 2 years. And honestly, a lot of you guys have been asking me about that, but I have come to realize that my diet should be something personal to me, and that I don't need to share it with the world. So I've kind of stopped talking about that on this channel, but that is still a goal I'm working towards, in case you guys are wondering. I'm not perfect by any means, and I'm not at the goal that I want to be in my life either. But because I'm taking these little steps towards that, I feel so much better as a person, and I feel like I'm socially being a responsible human being, and I'm contributing to good in this world. That alone itself, I'm like, I don't care if I have a banging body. When you focus on the greater in life, and you find something you're passionate about, and you focus on it, and you work towards it every single day, more and more you will stop caring about those little things that honestly does not really matter. So the next question I have is, any advice for girls who have never been in a relationship? In the past, you guys have seen my videos and you know about my boy problems, but I have never actually really dated. I had about, I think it was like 3 guys or 2 that I was like exclusively with. Like, they just never officially asked me out, but they made it clear to me that we're exclusive. Okay, girl, I was played, okay? So I don't have a lot of dating experience prior to Wah. Wah is my second boyfriend, like my second official boyfriend of life, and he's the longest relationship that I've ever had. So I feel like I know a thing or two about being that girl who were surrounded by people who had so much dating experience, and then there's me, like, you know, I just never really officially had many boyfriends. And my advice to you, girl, is to not feel ashamed about that at all. If you don't have any experience with dating, I wouldn't even be concerned about it, because when you meet the person that you feel like you have that connection with, your true emotions will just come out, and the way you want to love and care for that person will just naturally come out, because that is deeply rooted in you. Don't look at other relationships and think, well, that's how, you know, that couple is, so, you know, maybe that's what I need to do. That is a no-no. Don't ever compare your relationship with other people, because that's a mistake that I made, because I looked at my parents' relationship. Chill. My boyfriend, or my ex-boyfriend before Wah, cheated on me. And when our relationship ended, obviously I was like super bummed out, I was super upset. But now, years later, and I think about it, not that this is an excuse for him to have cheated on me, okay? But I was really mean to think of it. I mean, I had my moments where I was extremely sweet to him, but my temper for him was so short. Like, I just did not have the patience for him. Like, when we were good, and I think a lot of you girls can relate to this, but yeah, when we were good, I was literally the sweetest person to him. But when we were bad, I was terrible. And that is something that I feel like I've learned from my mom, and this goes back to me saying you should never compare your relationships, because I kind of compared my relationship with my parents, and my mom was always the feisty one in the relationship, okay? My dad had no say, and if my dad ever says anything, my mom would shut him out and put him in check. So with that relationship, and also that being my first official relationship, I looked at my parents' relationship and I thought, that is the way to go. That is the way you handle shit, girl. So anytime that he pissed me off, off, I went off on him. Don't look at other examples and think that is how a relationship should be. So to answer your question, if you are new to relationships and you're wondering what is a relationship like and how you should be in a relationship, I think the best way to go is just be yourself, and also learn to be patient and learn to compromise. You are not always right, and you are not always the smarter one. So that is one thing that I have really learned over the years of being with Wa, and we're just like any other couple. We get into our fights, we get into our arguments, and for sure, the thing that I've learned the most about working together as a couple is to have respect for each other and to be very, very patient with each other and be a good listener. No matter how hard it may be to hear sometimes when your partner is telling you what you're doing wrong or what you're doing that's upsetting them, you gotta listen to it. You gotta hear it out and really put it in your perspective. Like, okay, what if I was feeling this way? How would I react, and how would I want my partner to react? There's no perfect relationship, but there are definitely things you can do to make the relationship better, and that is definitely love, respect, nourishment, and compromise. All right, last question I want to talk about. This is a question, okay? Y'all ready? This is from Jessica Santos, and she asked, how do you deal with fuckboys? I don't understand why girls or boys can see a fuckboy a mile away and still think, I'm gonna change him. I'm gonna be the one. I'm gonna be the one that will change things because I'm different. Girl, I feel like most people just know, like from a mile away, when they see someone that is just not loyal. But yet, us as human beings, for some reason, well, of course, every single one of us want to feel special, and every single one of us are. Even though you are so special, I just don't feel like that is enough to think I'm special enough to change a person of their ways that is so deeply rooted into them. When I was in high school, I would go to all these college parties, and obviously I'm so into these college boys because I'm just like, oh my god, they're so grown, oh my god, they're in college, like, ooh, they so cute. There was one guy specifically that I knew was a fuckboy because my sister told me. She warned me about him. He worked at the boba shop. He was so cute, and I've just had a fat crush on him, and every single time I would go visit my sister, I would go to that boba shop because I knew he was gonna be there. One time I went to this party with my best friend who was also in high school, and we saw the guy from the boba shop. We're just gonna call him Boba, okay? And so Boba had another friend, we're gonna call him Milk Tea. So Boba and Milk Tea, and then there was my best friend and me. So it was perfect. Like, it was like a double date type of situation, okay? We were at a party, we were drinking and stuff. Yes, I had my fair share of underage drinking, and in no way am I encouraging that behavior. That was just who I was when I was younger, and you know, I just didn't think of consequences. Well, luckily, I've been very responsible every single time that I have drank. But okay, anyways, we're gonna talk about that in a later video. So we're drinking a little bit and stuff, and then so after the party, Boba and Milk Tea asked me and my friend, like, hey, do you guys wanna come to our apartment? So of course, on the inside, I'm thinking, you know what, even though I know he's not a good guy, I might be that special girl that would change him. So we go to his apartment, and girl, trust me, we did not do anything, okay? Nothing happened, nothing, okay? But we went to his apartment, and I can obviously tell Boba was not just into me, but was also into my best friend, okay? And my best friend at the time, honestly, was not a good friend because she saw that he took interest in her, and she was definitely trying to lead him on, okay? So the second we got into his apartment, I just did not have good feelings about it because I'm like, wait a second, this guy is flirting with me, making me feel all special, but I turn around and he's doing the same thing to my best friend. So anyways, we ended up grabbing some snacks. We went to the pool area, and we were all just in the jacuzzi, and all of us just chilling, hanging out. But there was nothing sexual about it. I know that sounds very sexual, like, you know, going in the jacuzzi. But no, there was nothing sexual about it because I was a very conservative person. And even though I portrayed that I wasn't, you know, I'm going to all these college parties, you know, I'm wearing all these tiny little outfits, I was always a very, very conservative person. While we were in this jacuzzi, and I'm like really into this guy, and I'm just like really hoping that he would just realize that I'm a down-ass bitch and that he would want to wife me up, you know. I did not get that feeling from him at all. He realized that I wasn't like all up on him, but my best friend at the time was. So his attention totally geared towards her. And at that point, I'm just like, you know what? Forget this. After we got in the jacuzzi, obviously we wanted to shower. So she asked him, hey, can we use your shower? So we go back to his apartment, and me and my best friend were both in the shower together. And we still had our bathing suits on, so we weren't naked or anything like that. But he comes in the shower and joins us. Okay, girl, ooh, this story is getting steamy, I know. So he joins us in the shower, and me, being the conservative ass that I am, I'm just like, oh bitch, gotta get out. So I grab my towel and I get up out of that shower. And it was one of those curtain shower situations. So you know, the curtain was slit a little bit, and while I was drying myself off, I went like this, and I had to peek to see what my best friend was doing, to see if she was really my best friend. I looked, and I see him rubbing soap on her. They were all up on each other, feeling each other, and I'm just like, bitch. That told me a lot about that girl, and we are no longer friends. After that night, after I dried myself off and I told that girl, my friend at the time, I'm like, we gotta go. So we left, and since then, never wanted to talk to that guy. That was my little story with a fuckboy. And so my advice to you is how to deal with a fuckboy. You don't deal with it, honey. You recognize it and you run, okay? Don't think, and okay, you know what? I shouldn't say this because anything's possible. I'm sure there's a relationship out there in this world where someone decided to date a fuckboy, and that fuckboy ended up being their husband and their baby daddy and everything. I'm sure that has to happen somewhere in this world because it's a big world we live in and anything is possible. But if you're asking me, and from a sister to a sister, I will say to you, if you sense that that person does not have loyalty and that person is not going to be really down for you, run, okay? There's a slim chance that maybe you can change him, but I truly believe that there are guys out there who are great guys from the jump, and you don't have to do no changing. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that it was helpful to you. And obviously, like I always say, this is just my personal advice, okay? You don't need to follow it. You don't have to think that it is correct, and by no means am I saying that it's correct. This channel has built because I feel like I've had this connection with many of you for years now, and I always just like to see it as whenever I do these advice videos, I'm just talking to my sister. Everything that I say, take it with a light heart. This is just my personal opinion, you know? So anyways, that's it. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you guys have not already, and please subscribe to this channel if you have not already. We're almost at 1.6. I thank you guys so much for staying subscribed, or if you just subscribed, I thank you so much for that. And I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye!